many in the audience would relate to your brand and your company because wood is expensive, it is scarce. बहुत सारे हमारे जंगल भी कट चुके हैं. But plywood is what really helps the average Indian add to his home. Of course, you can't just make a home out of plywood unless you have done some innovation. But tell us, do you see in the industry that you have built up over so many decades, India being a competitor to China and in fact being an alternative destination for both investments and technology?
Thank you, Siddharth. So, when you referred plywood, so I will start with this only. Around it was 1993, that time all of a sudden we saw that there was huge demand from China, and then plywood from all over India was moving towards China. There was 50% increase in the domestic price in a span of 3 months. And then not only from India, from all over the world, things were moving to China because there was housing revolution taking place in China. The government's policy that everybody should have a house. So, and then onward, China endeavored in augmenting their capacity, and very soon, China increased their capacity almost 50 folds. And in a span of 30 years, China has become self-sufficient in plywood, not only in plywood, in the plantation timber also, which is the base of all the panel in the world. And I will give you comparison. At the moment, our plywood production is 10 million cubic meters.
10 million cubic meters.
10 million cubic meter, whereas China's production is 200 million cubic meter.
And how much of that is exported? Do you recall how much China exports its plywood production?
But India is more or less self-sufficient in plywood. So neither we import much plywood nor we export. So, and because there is tariff, there is other restrictions, and in particle board, our capacity is only 1.5 million cubic meter. China is 35 million cubic meter. MDF, our capacity is 2 million cubic meter. China is 55 million cubic meter. So you can say that last 30 years as a lost opportunity, but I see a lot of future opportunity in this because you know, in many things like infrastructure, other things taking place, so most of the developed countries, they have reached saturation point, and more or less China also reached saturation point, particularly in our segment. The growth the rate which they were maintaining for so many years has almost come to a standstill. Now the increment is not much, but we have long way to go, and there is no reason in next 20 years we shall not equal present China.
Today next China, 20 years to equal present China.
Yeah, so now starting from here, where we are almost 1/20th in every sector, maybe we will reach 20 times from our present productivity, and I am sure housing and infrastructure would be the thrust of the country, and it will lead the development in the country, because the housing industry is an industry which support almost all the industries: steel, cement, paint, the sanitary wares, white goods,
electrical,
so everything, upholstery, furniture. So housing will lead the development. It led in China along with infrastructure. So I don't see it as a lost opportunity, but I am seeing big opportunity in future, and you will be surprised. There is the biggest misnomer that people say plywood and other panels, they destroy forest, they cut trees, it comes. But you will be surprised that present day plywood in India uses like MDF. It is 100% agroforestry.
Right, right.
There is not a single natural grown tree from the rainforest. And in particle board also, it uses leftovers,
Hmm.
lobs and tops of the trees and the waste wood from any source. It may be wastage of sawmill, wastage of
Right,
plywood.
right.
So and plywood, it uses 97% the plantation wood. Only 3% face in needs, which comes from Gabon or some foreign countries.
Right.